Hi everybody, and welcome to another video. It's kind of rainy and a little gloomy today, so I thought I would do a sketch from this reference photo that I found online. The other reason I wanted to make this video is because I recently just bought these Derwent Inktense watercolor pencils, and I'm really excited to try these out. So I thought this would be the perfect drawing to use these pencils. So I'm gonna do this sketch really quick, and then I'll be back to color the sketch in with these watercolor pencils and talk about them a bit more. So there's my sketch, and now let's try out these watercolor pencils. So one of the reasons that I was actually really interested in getting these watercolor pencils is, one, just out of curiosity, and two, because I was interested in potentially using them for like urban sketching, because I can take all these pencils with me and my water brush, and it just makes it kind of more efficient, because I can take the watercolor pencils and I can use them as just regular color pencils if I don't want to activate them and use them as, use them for the watercolor. But if I do want to use them for the watercolor, I have that option available to me. So I was really interested in these because I've seen people use these online, and I was very interested in the potential that these have to be a bit more a bit more accurate, because you can, like I mentioned, you can use them as regular color pencils, so you can kind of get a lot of like detail in, and then kind of go in with a water brush and work in, and use it to kind of fill it out more as if it were watercolor, as if you were painting. Again, I'm just kind of experimenting and playing around, so I don't think I'm gonna color these in completely, just to see what kind of textures and effects I get. So now let's activate these colors and see what kind of results we get here. That's actually really cool. They seem to blend together very nicely too. But yeah, it's actually really cool. Hopefully it comes across on camera, but watching it change is like, it's kind of trippy. Watching it change from like the colored pencil to like the watercolor is pretty cool. I wonder, so I still have, so my paper's a little wet from the water, so I'm curious if I just add the pencil directly to the water. Oh yeah, look at that. It just blends right in. It just like instantly becomes watercolor. You can kind of see it. You can get some very fine textures because, again, you can use the pencils as regular color pencils. So for areas where you don't want to necessarily fully paint in, you can kind of just do your best to go around them and you can still see the pencil marks. So in the case of this bird, I'm leaving some of those marks in to kind of give it that feather texture, which is, I mean, you can do it with regular watercolor, but this definitely makes it a lot easier. If you're someone like me who's never tried watercolor pencils, I definitely recommend trying them out. I really think they'd be an invaluable tool, especially if you're someone who does a lot of like urban sketching, just because, I mean, you can use them as regular color pencils as well. So it's just one less thing that you would have to carry with you when you're out urban sketching. And the colors just go on very smooth, which even if you're not planning on using them as watercolor pencils, if you're just going to use them as regular color pencils, these are pretty good color pencils on their own. But I highly recommend checking these out, especially if you're someone who does watercolor. If you do a lot of like urban sketching or any kind of painting, really, I would definitely recommend checking these out. Now, I do want to mention that I am drawing in a moleskin. They're not the best in terms of watercolor paper, but they do hold like fairly light washes, kind of like what I'm doing here. So I would be mindful if you're planning on working with these in a similar sketchbook. But they'll take a light wash relatively well, as you can see. But I wouldn't do much more than a layer or two, because it does seem like the paper starts to, like the fibers of the paper kind of start to get pulled up. And I'm okay with these lines too. I think it adds to the piece. I think it just kind of adds a bit more texture and liveliness to it. And with that, I think we'll call this one done. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really enjoy these Derwent Inktense watercolor pencils. Again, it's my first time using them. I think they're great. They go on very smooth. Even if you're just going to use them as colored pencils, they're fantastic. But I would highly recommend, if you haven't tried watercolor pencils out before, I definitely recommend these. I could definitely see using these when I'm out urban sketching, just because, again, you have the ability to use them as regular color pencils as well as watercolor pencils. So you can just, it's one less thing you have to carry. So I definitely think that these are going to start working their way into my everyday art supplies. So give the video a thumbs up, like it, leave a comment down below, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.